homosexuality, or it's just weird to me or whatever, then automatically I'm a bigot. But gays can go and talk about anybody, say anything, and it's just funny. Ha 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 ha. No, why is there a double standard when it comes to that? If you want equality, then treat us equal too. Treat straight people or anybody just equal.
Yeah, I think it's a bad.
Sorry, I just went on about it.
No problem. Yeah, I think it's bad
like
when.
That.
No problem.
Like about my Donnie.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a bad idea whenever we attack somebody's, somebody that was a victim in something such as, molestation or rape, being violated. Somebody gets beat down, or so. If Donnie had, it's like you said, it's certain things that and that's just part of this country that nothing is off limits anymore. Everybody has the right to just say whatever they want to say and attack whoever they want to attack. But like you said, once you fire that shot, you leave yourself open for future attacks, and we're kind of going down a slippery slope right there. So yeah, I just thought it was unnecessary to get at Donnie. It was plenty of different people to take some shots at, other than Donnie. The guy was probably probably didn't even know the Empire premiere was on this week, and then all of a sudden his mentions and everything is blowing up, and he's pulled into something that's really not even an area where he can even make anything out of it. Although his comments were upstanding though, so good for him. Before we move on from Empire, what's your overall grade? ABC type stuff. What would you give the premiere?
The premiere, I give it a B minus. I mean, obviously, it did great in ratings with over 16 million, and then a really great demo rating as well. So I mean, it did really good. Like I said, I do think the season's gonna be good. I hope Jamal and Cookie will get their things together. I hope he'll get his act together. But I think the season's gonna be real good, so I'll give it a B minus. And that, I'll give it a B plus because that 50 Cent diss was really good. So, but yeah, it was good, and I think it's gonna get better.
Now, two things. What was up with the head in the box, in the gift box from Frank? Because I sure didn't think that was Jamel or
yeah, that was D-Ray.
D-Ray.
Now that was again not as believable because it's like, okay, so he ate his eye, and then somehow chopped off his head and got it mailed from prison to, But again, it's a soap opera, so it's TV. So bye bye, DeRay. And what I really liked about the episode was that Lucius really, even though they kind of hate each other, that love-hate relationship, that loyalty to each other is strong no matter what. If somebody else outside is trying to attack you, then they're gonna have your back. They have each other's back. So I like that about Cookie and Lucius. I think they are the true heart and soul of the show.
Right. And our boy Dre, he had one shining moment in the show when he was able to walk down that hall. When he was able to really show his strength in the show, when he really thought he had orchestrated everything, when he went and got Hakeem and said it's time to go. It was short-lived. He had about 5 or 6 seconds of swagger, but
yes, I know. I can't wait to see his character development for this season, and because I think he's just a great actor. So I can't wait to really see what's going to happen with the whole Vernon and Baby and just everything. I'm looking forward to his character and Cookie's character probably the most this season.
Lastly, before we do move on, how the hell did Anika get back into the executive boardroom, from where we saw her last?
I think from the end of the season, because she was sleeping with Hakeem, and so she brought up the idea of doing a hostile takeover. Then Cookie came to Hakeem and said, well, what if we start our own label? So that's why they just ended up teaming all together to just do the hostile takeover instead of just starting an entirely new burger label. But we see the next episode they are going to go ahead and start their own label.
Okay. All right. So, like I said again, that is our Empire breakdown. We like to get a little, like I said, the initial plan.
And I want to see 50 Cent on the show too.
Oh, I'm not gonna touch that one, but
it needs to happen. It needs to happen.
Right. Like I said, the original plan for us today was to do this on a new app called Blab. We were gonna try to do it there. Actually, I was a little. I had some trepidations about what the turnout might be for that. So, it didn't happen. Jasmine had to do some things, and we're getting on here now. So we'll move on to a couple of other things, a couple shorter topics. It was a couple new shows that we discussed on your last visit. I don't know how many you've had a chance to check out, but any thoughts on maybe Rosewood with Morris Chestnut, The Player with Wesley Snipes? I didn't get to see it, but I see that Megan Good is actually like the leading lady, the protagonist in Minority Report. So I might try to check that one out. That movie was kind of okay for me, but did you get a chance to check any of these shows out? And any other? I know I didn't get to see Blind Spot either, but any thoughts on anything new?
Sure. So I didn't get to see Blind Spot. I heard it was really good. I did record Rosewood. I still haven't watched it. I heard some mixed reviews on that. But I'm definitely going to check it out. And then I do want to check out Minority Report as well. The only shows I really watched was TGIT, Empire, and Blackish. And I will have to say that Blackish really, even though the ratings weren't as good as, of course, as Empire, they really knocked it out the park. It was a great episode. But that's all I really watched this week. But I definitely want to check out The Player, Minority Report, and Rosewood as well. And The Blind Spot, I heard it was really good, so I'm going to have to get that in.
Rosewood, it was okay. Morris Chestnut is getting some pretty good reviews for his performance. It's kind of a cliche character for me. The sidekick part of the buddy thing, but he's the sidekick that doesn't carry a gun, and I think because of his health condition, he's not going to be using his physical attributes or anything this year or in this series. And it looks like, I'm sure you're pretty familiar with his physique, but it looks like he's laid off of the weights and being a little more muscular and bulky to being just kind of a slimmer guy that's fit, of course. But, it's like I said, he's more using his personality, and he's actually a doctor of sorts. It's a little flirting between him and his partner. I'll probably tune back into that one because it's the lead in to Empire. It's no real edge to it. It seems to be playing up the comedy and the wise guy and just the flirty, work wife type thing between him and the lead lady. So I might tune in again, but I don't know about that one long term. The Player, I have not heard about The Player. I did talk with the coworker today that he was kind of a big fan, and I'll probably check that out on demand this weekend. And then, like I said, I just saw what Megan Good's role in Minority Report is, so I'll probably check that out. And I just say that because looking at Blind Spot, Rob Brown from Fine and Forrester is part of that cast, but he really wasn't included in any of the previews or the trailer for the series. You really didn't even know he was in it. So I just didn't know what Megan's role is. But before we move on to these last few topics, are you kind of shocked to see Megan get the looks that she's received from Hollywood? This is like her third or fourth show that she's gotten a chance to lead. And secondly, do you think maybe that's a function of the success that Viola, Taraji, and it's another lady out there, and Kerry Washington? Do you think maybe these other networks are trying to find their leading lady of color?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I definitely think that this season we are seeing more leading women of color in leading roles, all because of Viola, Taraji, and Kerry. Even though, and I know a lot of people, when Scandal first came out, people were, oh, Kerry's the first leading woman or whatever. And that wasn't true, because Taraji and the girl from Sleepy Hollow, I mean, there's a lot of other ones, but they just weren't promoted as well as they did Kerry. I think the studio execs or the directors or whomever undermined the star power, the likability, and just the goodness of these black women. And now they see with Viola and Taraji and Kerry how they command their roles, that black women are valuable. And so I definitely think that is the reason we're going to see more leading women of color on these TV shows. So, and with Megan, yeah, she's had a few. I know she had one last year that didn't really last. So hopefully, this
was that the one with Laz Alonso?
Yeah, exactly. And so hopefully this show will. I think she's been in the game for a long time as well. So hopefully, I definitely want to see her do well. I really want to see Regina. Oh, I know she's going to do a Will Packer show, but I'd like to see her like a lead comedy series too, because I think she's really funny. So hopefully we'll see more people.
Yeah, I think we may be moving. I mean, I know the studios really only like to make moves when they're confident, 90-some% confident that they can get a return or have success with what they're trying to do. But I really think we may be getting to a point to where just talented actresses will be, given these positions, whether it be black or white or Latina. If you're good, I think you'll, we'll just see we'll see diversity in these casts moving forward, I think. So, a couple of firsts this week. Viola Davis was awarded or recognized as the best leading lady in a drama for How to Get Away with Murder, and right. Her did you see it live? Did you catch her speech live?
I watched it. I was at work, but it was on, and I'm like moving in my seat while I'm working, so my coworkers were looking at me crazy. But her speech was amazing, and I thought anyway, and I think really needed, really necessary. I thought it was beautiful. I think
I thought she looked lovely.
She looked beautiful, and I think what I really liked about the night, besides just her winning and Regina winning everything, was just that sisterhood, that support from Taraji and Kerry. The way Taraji jumped up out of her seat in pure just excitement, like you could tell that wasn't fake or phony, because sometimes when you lose an award, they had a little fake, like, oh, I'm happy for you or whatever, but you could tell that it was genuine. And just to see that support from the other women, the other sisters in the audience, and just even her recognizing and acknowledging, Gabrielle and just all the other women who have been doing it consistently. These women aren't new, like, they're not, they're being called by white America breakout characters and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, they've been in the game for 30 years. Like, to the black community, we've always known Viola and Taraji and all them. But so I really loved her speech and just how she gave that credit to the other women who, you know, they may never get to the Emmy, some of them. So I really was, it was a proud and happy moment, especially me being a person who wants to, you know, go into the industry. So it was definitely a nice and happy moment.
Right. I don't want to criminally mess up, you know, paraphrasing, you know, paring down